Hello everyone, I am Adranali, the Bazooka Prophet. As for you all know, next week WAEC Chemistry Practical will be starting, and a lot of students are already tensed up probably because they've not prepared enough, right? But right about now is a likely examination question from the practical from the practical specimens that we were given. Right now, at the end of this video, you should be able to tackle your examination question for the titration experiment, but I'm going to be giving you a preamble on how all these things are basically done. Now, the question on the board is: A is a solution containing S gram per dm cube of H₂SO₄, which was the acid we were made to provide for you guys for this 2026 chemistry practical that will be starting next week, Wednesday or thereabout, because it is the first exam that will be officially written by science students. Right now, B is a solution containing 4 grams of sodium hydroxide in 500 cm cube of distilled water. Now, the practical as follows. This one is an alternative, right? But if you have a wrap understanding of what I'm about to explain here now, it will aid you and help you in tackling your examination question on that day of the exam. The rules and the things you are to equip yourself with in order to do the exam and earn all your mark, because it contains a high mark rating in your examination aggregate. They put A, of course, you have to put your acid in your burette, right? And they said you have to titrate it against 25 cm cube portion of B using phenolphthalein. Now, why making use of phenolphthalein? If you understand, right, the acid you have to make use of, which is the A, is a strong acid, while the base, which is sodium hydroxide, is a strong base. And anything strong, right, based on the strength of an acid or a base, simply means that they can dissolve completely in water. I mean, a strong acid or a strong base, they are substances that can dissolve in water completely. Is that understood right now? And as such, we can make use of any indicator. It can be methyl orange, methyl red, or phenolphthalein. So in this case here now, we are making of what now? Phenolphthalein, right? And at the end of the day, we should have a colorless solution by the time you titrate it against. That should be your end point. Now, let's suppose the average volume of the acid used is 21.60, meaning in this particular question, because it is alternative, they've already given us our end point or our average volume of acid used, which we have already calculated for, right? They said, okay, to completely neutralize B, draw a suitable table for the titration and calculate the average volume of acid used. Then from the information provided above, calculate the concentration of B in mole per dm cube, the concentration of A in mole per dm cube, the concentration of A in S gram per dm cube, thereby giving you your equation here, which is the balanced equation. Now, we start wasting time. We're going to go straight to solving this question, right? And how to create the table. I will give you, it's an alternative, right? It is every school will have their own endpoint, which you have to do it in that day of the examination. You have to do it in that day of the examination, right? So it is your own endpoint from your school that you have to use, right? Remember, this channel encourage hard work, discipline, and astute study, because it is education that gives one edge over every other nations of the world. Education is paramount. So let's go straight to the solving. All right, now since the question said that we should draw a suitable table for this equation, for this particular question, and we should also indicate and also calculate our average volume of acid used. Now we already have our endpoint. Let us do the table from alternative mix. Now, this is how you start your practical exam, right? This is how you start it. Now, you come here, you put these two down. Okay, you put this A is the solution. Let me rub the board. Okay, this you in your question book, in your answer booklet, this is you have to write these two first. That A is a solution containing S gram per dm cube of H₂SO₄. B is a solution containing 4 grams of sodium hydroxide in 500 cm. This should be the first thing you should write. You should write the quantity that you were given, right? Which are these two first. Then you now come here, you put here your table, your indicator, right? And the indicator that you were given was what now? Your phenolphthalein. Then you come here, of course, the volume of pipette that your school was giving. Of course, most schools use 25 cm cube. 25 cm cube, right? You can also write the volume of the burette, which is what now? 50 cm cube. This will make your table very, very constructive. This will make your table very, very constructive. Like, you already know what you're doing, although you have to manage space. But all these ones here already make the examiner know that you know what you are doing. You know what you are doing. Okay, now let us construct the table. So in the table here, you can use a rule so that your work can be very, very neat. Use a rule. Okay, come here like this. I'll do my own. I'll just do it into there's something like this. This here will be your burette what readings, which should be in cm cube. Here should be your rough titre, which should also be in cm cube. This should be your first titre in cm cube, your second titre in cm cube. Then of course, like this and like this. Here is your final burette reading, your final readings. Okay, let me put it here. Your final readings. Here is your initial. Here is your volume of acid used. Now, for your initial, right? For your initial, you can put here to be 0, right? Although this one is practical, so you do the practical. There is 0.0. Then since you already have the average in your mind to be 21.60 cm cube, right? You can come here to just put 23. Normally, if you do it, your rough can give you. This is factual. Remember, you must be very careful. If you do something like this, you are wrong. It was being 2 decimal word places. Now it can be like this. Now you can do it. You can take all your burette reading, all your burette initials to be 00. Then you can come here to put 21.60. When I did my own practical, this was what I got. 21.60, right? Then at the end of the year will give me 23.0, because you subtract this minus this will give me this. This minus this will give me 21.60. That will give me 21.60. So because these two values are close to themselves, right, I'm to pick these two when calculating for my what now? Average. So I will have to erase the board again. So to calculate for your average volume of acid used to be equal to what now? Your first, most times they don't make use of rough because the value of rough are always very higher. And while you are picking your values for your tighter values, you go for the one that are closer, meaning accuracy, values that are in concordance. These two values are in concordance, right? Meaning they are close range values. So here is 21.60 plus 21.60 divided by what now? Because it is 2 tighter I use, that will be divided by 2. So when you add it up, you divide by 2, you also have what we call 21.60. 0.0cm3. This is simply just the table. This is simply, in fact, this one on its own can carry like 10 to 15 marks. The practical that you have just done and the average title value that you have just gotten is massive, very, very massive, right? Now, do well to watch out for the part 2 right now, right? So that the video will not be too long. Watch out for part 2 now for the other part of the calculation.